recording. Let me start the video. All right, guys. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and
what is that? Wait, Joe.
Yeah?
Joe.
Yeah?
What is that around your neck? I like it.
This necklace is a public idol.
I want it.
And since Javen has just said he wanted it, he has claimed it. So this idol now belongs to Javen. This idol is good until Final Five.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Now that we got that.
This is legit.
Yeah, that's the legit idol.
Oh my
that's
God.
Actual idol. So now that we got that cleared up, Alex, right off the bat, somebody claims an idol from around my neck. How does that change the dynamic of the tribal council?
Well, good for him, honestly. But we came into this like everybody had a big fear of the idol at our camp because everybody's been saying it's already been claimed and nobody knows who has it. So we had that automatic fear of like, what if the person you're voting tonight or the person you don't want to go home tonight is playing the idol? Like, what's going to happen with that? And now that there's a second idol in the mix, who knows what's happening tonight?
Javen, you just publicly in front of everyone claims an idol, so everyone knows that you have an advantage in your pocket. Are you concerned with maybe how that makes people view you or see you?
Not at all. I feel like people was already questioning what I got from the land, and it's time I kind of just tell them. It's fine.
All right. Krista, an idol in the game can be very powerful. And as Alex was saying, there seems to be a lot of speculation. And then now you guys know Javen has one. How is the group doing with the idea of possible idols in the game?
Wait, so that's real? I still think it's a joke.
That's what I was saying.
That is, I can confirm it is a public idol. So that was real,
so
and Javen has claimed it.
That's so annoying. Okay, anyways. Good job, though. But honestly, there was a lot of speculation about idols, and I don't think it changed anything because ultimately I feel like everybody just kind of ignored it at the end of the day, and they didn't really care that much. I was really worried about one. A bunch of people were really worried about one, but I mean, ultimately, I don't think it changed what was going to happen tonight. So.
All right. So we've talked a little bit about idols. Let's take a few steps back and go into the beginning of the season. Dominic, you guys were all revealed to take part in the season after being invited. What was the vibe like when you guys first arrived onto the Discord?
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so you know how people walk into the Discord.
Oh, I can't hear you now. You've muffled your microphone. There you go.
You hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
You can hear me great. I sound fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, so you know how it is when 18 new people walk into a Survivor game, any game in general. You know how it is. It's smiles, cupcakes, and fucking giggles. But, you know, now that we're at Tribal, it's going to be a different vibe. You know how it is when you walk in. Everyone loves each other. It's all that shit. But the game has begun now, so.
All right. Sean, Dominic talks about how the game has now begun. Have things been chaotic back at camp after the loss?
I feel like it was sort of like right after the loss. I think it kind of like died a little bit. I think there's still a little bit of what is the word I'm looking for? I guess I'll just use chaos. And there's a little bit of things that still are going on, but it's not as chaotic as it was at the like right after Tribal. Not Tribal, the challenge. Oh my God, I'm so tired.
You're good. All right. Dustin, what's been going on back at camp? Where has this chaos came from?
It came from me. I threw out a name when no one would throw out a name. So I felt like that put a target on me. But I wasn't like initially like choosing someone. It was more like I hadn't talked to someone. So from there, everything went crazy. My name's been thrown around. Sounds like just 2 people have been thrown around so far. So pretty much it.
All right. Zaire, would you agree that there's been a lot of chaos after Dustin said he threw out a name and then his name has been thrown out as well?
I would say it's not like super chaotic. I just feel like it's a kind of, are we voting Dustin or Julia kind of situation. And that's about it.
All
So I
right.
wouldn't say it's been horrible.
Great. Alex, would you agree that the two names that appear to be on the chopping block are Julia and Dustin?
Yeah, that's pretty much the like, tribe consensus as of right now. Those are the two names that I've heard personally, and it's just a matter of, as of right now, it's a matter of who you think as an individual is better for your game to keep, and who you think is better for the tribe as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, Javen, what has been the thought process tonight in the argument versus Dustin and Julia? Why are their names coming up?
I think it's just because they just kind of, well, Dustin was really blunt about his vote, and I think because he was open, people probably was just like, whoa, like they're a little bit kind of wondering where he's at. But I'm trying to like be careful because last time in the other tribe, someone spoke up, they went home, so it's a little bit scary. I think that's why people are a little bit holding back and kind of just pushing for those two people to kind of be on the chopping block.
All right. Krista, Javen mentions that people are holding back tonight a bit because they're scared to be put on the chopping block. Would you agree with that, that maybe people are being less vocal tonight?
Oh, I totally agree. Those are like the only names I've heard. I honestly feel like this is going to be just a really predictable tribal. It's literally probably going to be like a 5-4 vote or something like that. It's just going to be really boring because it's literally only between Dustin and Julia. Nobody said anything else. Nobody tried to say anything else. Nobody's venturing out because of an idol or because they don't want to vote either. Like nobody's doing anything. So, yeah.
All right. Dominic, would you agree that tonight is kind of going to be a bit of a predictable tribal? Is there no room for things to change here right now?
If things change, then I don't know. But I feel like it's the first tribal. What do you expect from the first tribal?
All right. Dustin, so your name has been going around. What have you done to try to attempt to get that off of your back?
I've definitely campaigned a lot. I've been in like the Discord all day. Like I've canceled a lot of my plans with like friends today because I was bold, yes, and I was very blunt when I said Julia's name. So I kind of, sorry, I just got a phone call. I kind of expected this to happen in a way because it happened in the other tribe. So I was hoping it didn't, but yeah, it's like repeating itself. So maybe not be so blunt next time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Zaire, typically in Reality Noted throughout, we have a lot of different tribal councils, and there's usually two types of tribals you can walk into. One tribal council is very vocal, and people are voicing their opinions and their concerns and very open and talking. And another tribal council, people seem to be very quiet and reserved, and when I ask questions, don't really give me much. Tonight's definitely seems to be a tribal that is very quiet. People seem to be holding back a bit. Would you agree with that? And if so, what's the reasoning that people seem to be holding back?
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of quiet. I feel like everybody made their mind up on the vote 2 hours ago, so I don't think there's a lot, I don't know, to discuss. I don't think anybody's going to try to call out anybody or anything to put a target on their back because I think we all know where the votes are going.
Okay. Sean, Zaire mentions that she thinks we all know where the votes are going and that people decided hours ago. So is tonight's vote going to be a group consensus, or are there going to be two different groups trying to make their own plans happen?
I'm under the impression that there is two different groups trying to keep the person that they want in the game. But like you never know what's going to happen, especially when it comes to like we've talked before with the idols. But yeah, it's going to be kind of predictable, I think. But it's definitely going to be split, I think.
Mm-hmm. Javen, a lot of people seem to be saying, we know the two names. They're Dustin and Julia. Things are going to happen tonight. It's going to be one of those two. What are the odds that maybe there's a third plan out there and maybe somebody else is trying to make a different name be on the table and possibly someone else who will be receiving votes tonight?
I'd actually be shocked considering that, when people talk, they're a little loud. So you can kind of figure out if your name is being thrown out there, if there's a third name being thrown out there. And I really haven't heard much of a third name. I've only just heard of Dustin and Julia. So I'd be actually shocked if someone else gets thrown out there. It's a little scary.
All right. Alex, being at Tribal Council now, is there a sense of paranoia? Is it different than being back on the Discord? What's the vibe like right now?
Yeah, well, obviously it's a little different than the Discord because as a tribe, we were very we were all vibing together to start this game off, and I feel like that's the cast as a whole. But coming into Tribal, there is a sense of paranoia because you never know what's going to happen in this game. None of us have really had a chance to prove our loyalties to anyone, and this is our first opportunity to understand who trusts us and who we trust.
Mm-hmm. All right. Dominic, is the fact that Kayla and Julia, that they both are not on right now for Tribal Council, is that something that could potentially put a target on them?
No. Well, there's two names. I don't think someone not being here is going to put a target on them.
Mm-hmm.
There's two names.
Okay. Zaire, does everyone have their mind made up? Is it that simple that there's really no point in continuing to ask questions? Everybody kind of knows what they're doing?
I don't know. I feel like there might be a few people that are kind of undecided, still trying to figure out where majority is. But I feel like the majority of people do know what they're voting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Krista, Zaire mentions that she feels like the majority of people do know what they're doing tonight. Would you agree with that statement, that you feel like majority of people have made a decision?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, Dustin and Julia obviously have made up their mind. There's two names. They're voting each other. And then the people who are the closest to those people have already made up their minds. And then people are just going to fall in where they think majority is or where they want to vote. I don't know how they're going to play it. I don't know if they're just going to vote with their friend, or I don't know if they're just voting one way because they think it's majority. I'm not sure, but I think people have their minds made up.
All right. Kayla Ko is joining. I just admitted her, so she should be here soon. Dustin, are the people who are the apparent swing votes, is that clear?
Is their votes clear?
Yeah. Is it clear
No.
who could potentially be a swing vote?
Oh, yes and no, kind of. Some people I feel like are not fully being straight up, and I've talked to some other people that I'm obviously going against, and there's a whole bunch of different stories going around, so it's kind of hard, what to believe in. But I feel like after this vote, I can rely off actions, not just words. So hopefully they stick to their word and their action.
All right. Kayla, you just came in a little bit late, but that's okay. I want to go ahead and ask you a question. How has it been back at camp for you? Did it seem to be chaotic? Were there a lot of conversations through your eyes?
I think there was a lot of different point of views being pointed out when we came back after losing immunity. I was expecting for it to be similar in the way of that. I think there was going to be a lot of ideas being expressed. I think at first it was a little bit quiet, nobody wanted to speak up, and I totally get that. And then having two names being really thrown out, and let's be honest, it was Julia and Dustin. Having people, I fully don't know what's gonna happen tonight, because you think something's gonna happen and then it goes to the other direction. So I think everything's still up in the air. I don't think a decision has been made till you see the votes and you see who gets voted out. Mm-hmm. But I think it's definitely, I hope that at least from who I'm voting, that this shapes the tribe dynamic in a more positive way. Mm. So, yeah. Mm. And sorry for being late.
No problem. You're good. Krista, I want to actually kind of elaborate a little bit off of what Kayla Ko said. She said she hopes that it affects the tribe in a good way. Do you think this vote has the potential to divide the group, or if it's going to make the group stronger?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I think depending on which way you vote, you could feel more united with the people you voted with. But I feel like in that sense, you'll feel more united with the people you voted with. But I feel like it'll cause a really big divide within the two different like voting groups.
Mm-hmm. Javen, do you think people are thinking about the Land of the Legends, or it's almost like just a second thought?
I believe people are thinking about it. I know a lot of people were watching me, regardless they don't want to express it. Like, you kind of want to know, like, okay, what else did you feel me? Like, I feel like a lot of people were trying to figure out what was going on, but I think they're just waiting for their own turn to go.
All right.
It's a good lander. I get good things from it.
All right. And with that being said, this group seems to be very decided, but also very confused at the same time. And I think it's time we clear some of that up. So unless anyone has anything they'd like to say, we can get to the votes. All right. You guys have 5 minutes to vote in your voting DM starting now. If you need me to harden it so that you can find it, let me know.
I was gonna say it's 29, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I do want to say if you message people now, that still counts as whispering. So make sure to tune into the chat where Evan and Daniel will update you. And if you look, there is some whispering. Kayla and Sean are whispering.
Yeah,
Kayla's like,
Kayla's saying here to like help out.
I'm sorry, is there like a new twist that you can't like
You're good. No, I'll let you know what it is. So if you weren't here for the beginning of the rules where I explained, if you're messaging people while at tribal council, that is going to be revealed to everyone. That is considered whispering. Make sure you always message people with RN pre-film in the messages. That way we can let people know.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
If not, and if you do message people without, and we find out, that can result in a really big punishment that could make or break your game. And by make or break, I mean break, not make. All right, guys. I do have the votes. And with that being said, at this time, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
Well, you came back for a reason, so let's turn this shit up. I've decided to use my public idol on Dustin.
All right, so this idol that
Let's
Javen
go, thank
got
you.
off my neck tonight is real. He has played it on Dustin, meaning any votes casted on Dustin will not count. All right. Also, before I reveal the votes, they're going to be backwards. I used to do this on Skype where it would like reverse it for you, and I'm not writing them backwards, so they're just going to be backwards, but it's fine. All right. First vote, Dustin does not count. Second vote, Dustin does not count. Third vote, Dustin does not count. Fourth vote, Julia. Fifth vote, Julia. Sixth vote, Julia. That's 3 votes, Julia. 3 votes left. Seventh vote, and the second person voted out of reality noted new age, Julia. Julia, that is enough. She's not here. We would do her exit interview and ask her who she'd send to the Land of the Legends, but we will get that information from her soon. That being said, guys, go ahead and hop off of Zoom. You guys are free to go back to the Discord.
Thank you.